G'day guys, today we're doing the transaxle fluid. It's manual transmission fluid. It is also the differential fluid. The diff and the manual transaxle take the same oil in the same housing. So yeah, that's a thing that I read in a book, so it must be true. So the basic process for this is we crack the filler plug to make sure we can get it undone, otherwise it's pointless draining the drain plug. I'm going to check the levels just out of interest because I'm curious, but if you're doing a refill you don't actually have to. There's no oil leaks visible around there, so there's no reason for it to be low. I've got all the tools set out here, I'll quickly show you. As usual, we'll go through the prices and that at the end of the video. So I've got an oil pan, about 8 litres worth. We should only be draining about 2.2 litres. Safety glasses, brought a breaker bar because the filler and drain plug have probably never been removed. 17 socket for the filler, 24 for the drain. Torque wrench to do them back up at 32 Newton meters, according to the manual. Here's our oil here. This is a 4 litre drum, should only take about 2 litres. This is an oil pump, which has horrible reviews, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. So I'll pour that in there, hook this in, and then start pumping. And this is just a container. Still going to use the oil pan because I'm not sure how fast it'll flow. It might flow too fast for this hole. Even with the breather undone, it might not drain in here quick enough. So I'm going to fill up the oil pan and then pour it into here. Good plan. So looking from the engine bay, this is the left-hand side of the car, which is the passenger side. In Australia, down here is our manual transmission. So underneath the front of the car now, and you see up here, it's our filler plug. So that's where we're going to crack that first before we crack the drain plug. The drain plug being this 24mm over here. So we'll see if we can crack this filler plug first. Use my strong hand. So we weren't low on oil, which is a good sign, I guess. And make sure your car's level when you do this. We'll wait for this to stop dripping and then we'll move the oil pan over. So it's good to know that we've got this off so we can refill it. Alright guys, that's getting slower, but it definitely hasn't stopped. But I'm just going to try and crack this 24, and then if it starts leaking, I'll have to just move the drip pan over to try and cover both. Another way around. So that's starting to seep out already. Alright guys, it's been about 5 minutes. You can let this drain for as long as you want, but at this point it's not really making any difference. So I'm going to chuck that drain plug back in, which is just resting on top of the oil pan. I do not have a new washer for it, going to reuse the old washer, and according to the workshop manual that is 32 Newton meters on the torque wrench. After that we'll use the fill hole with the oil pump that I've got and see if we can fill it up. Just give that a wipe with a paper towel and then I'll tighten it up. So I've got this oil pump here now, filled it with about 1 litre. So we'll have to refill this in between. But the idea is that we hook this through the filler plug and we can pump 1 litre in, fill this up again, pump another litre in, and it should be close to overflowing because that is the correct level once it's level with that filler hole. And it shouldn't overflow from here until about 2.2 litres have gone in. 2 bottles down. Bottle number 3. This should be it, so it should start to overflow. Alright, you can see that's starting to overflow now. So that time I filled it up to 700. It's down to 450, so it's about 2.3 litres before it starts to overflow. Get this out. So I'll put this back into the container and we'll tighten this filler plug up at 32 Newton meters. $17mm at 32 Newton meters. Job done. Now we just got to tidy up and drain this into a larger container, and we'll have a look at the condition of that as we drain it. Alright guys, I'm just going to use this oil container to hold all the old oil, and hopefully you can see the condition of it as it comes out. So it's a lot darker than the oil that we put in. Smells a bit. Alright, that's it. Transgender, transaxle oil changed out. You should only have to do this once, hopefully in the lifetime of your car. Not a four-wheel drive going through puddles where water can get in, so you really shouldn't have to change it too often. And the pump held up well. That's it for that one, pretty easy one, but you might need to buy some stuff like an oil pump, which comes in handy. Get the oil into the diff housing or transaxle housing. Once you've done this, you can go back to your fast and furious quick shifts. It'll be way smoother, gives you an extra gear. I've got 7 gears now, only had 5 before. That's it. If you've got an automatic, this video is not for you. Turn around and walk away. Yeah.